Hey, what's going on, guys? Remember my other video I did on the Philips Hue personal wireless lighting system? And if you haven't, check out my feed here because I kind of do a I don't want to call it an unboxing, but I show you basically what you get in the box and talk a little bit about what this is. Well, this video, I'm just going to take the camera off the tripod. I'm going to go show you about the setup, talk about my experience with the setup. I'll come back, put the camera back on the tripod, aim it up at one of the lights that I had plugged in and talk about it, and then give my final impressions of this product and whether or not I think it's worth it. Remember, Philips Hue is not cheap, although considering for what it is, it's actually quite reasonable compared to what has been offered insofar as what has come before it. It's going to retail for about $199 for the starter kit, which you see right here, which includes a hub and 3 of these bulbs that are LED bulbs rated for 15 years. So let's get the camera off the tripod and I'll show you the hub and talk about setup. All right, guys, so here is the hub that it comes with. And the first thing I'm going to apologize for is my lighting here. I don't have my studio lights hooked up over here, so hopefully you're getting this okay. But the first thing you want to do when you unbox your Philips Hue starter kit is to take those 3 LED light bulbs and plug them into whatever fixtures you plan on using them with. After you've plugged those in, and I'm not going to show you how to do that. Everybody hopefully knows how to screw in a light bulb. After you've done that, you're going to take your hub and you want to set it up close to wherever your wireless router is. So what you don't see here is I've got over off to the side my Airport Extreme, and you're going to take the Cat5 cable that comes in the package of the Philips Hue and plug one end into the back of the hub, the other into your Airport Extreme, then take your power cord from the AC adapter that is included in the Philips Hue packaging, plug it in here, other end into the wall. These lights come on. You're then going to download the Philips Hue app, which I will show you in just a moment. And when you launch it for the first time, it's going to search for your lighting system, and it will tell you to press this center button one time to connect it to the app. Once you do that, it will find it, it will connect it, and you're all ready to go. And I'll show you the next steps in a moment here. Now, one thing I will comment, if you have multiple devices in your home, an iPad, an iPhone, a couple of iPhones, and you want to use the app on all of those devices, every time you go to install it, it's going to ask you to press this button one time to sync it with those apps. It's almost like a security method so that somebody else who maybe gets the app in your area doesn't have access to your lights. So with that setup out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at the app and how that works. All right, so we're pretty much at the final step of the installation here. You've gotten the Philips Hue package, you've unpackaged it, you've screwed in the light bulbs, you've set up the hub like I just showed you, and now you need to grab the app. So the app is available on iOS devices as well as Android devices. I've got it on iOS, so I'll show you how it works here. You'll see it listed right there. It's listed as Philips Hue. When you open it for the first time, again, it's going to search for your connection. And if you've never done the connection setup before, you're going to have to press that center button on the hub. And then it'll take you to a screen that looks very much like this. So a couple of different areas in this app to talk about. You get these predetermined scenes. And basically what this is remember, these LED bulbs have a wide variety of colors built into them. So sunset is going to change your light bulb into a sunset sort of yellowish, whitish color that replicates a sunset. Blue rain is another one. I think it's on this page up here, is going to change your room to a very dark bluish sort of color. So these are predefined colors. There's a whole community that you can sign up for on the Philips Hue website where people are sharing their light recipes, and you can download these and just add them for your own enjoyment. Now, what I do want to show you outside of these custom set ones, and there's also some for reading and relaxation and things like that, is you also get a couple of other options. So if we tap down here at the bottom, you can actually, and remember, this system will support up to 50 light bulbs. That's a lot of light bulbs. And as you add them, it can get confusing really easily. So you do have the ability to custom name your light bulbs so you know where you've placed them in your home, so that when you come into the app, you're not just making a bunch of guesswork about what basically you want to set up. Now, you're seeing right here, it says no connection. I have experienced this a couple times in my home where it says reconnect. no problem reconnecting to the system, but it's something I'll call out. I've run into that a couple of times here. Getting back to what I was saying, you can name your light bulbs so you can actually have ease of use for this. And if you're not going to use those light recipes, you can use these sliders to dim them, turn them all off or individually off. If you come to the left-hand side, it's off. To the right, it's all the way on. And then based upon what you've called them, so for example, number 1 is a light bulb in my game room. If I take that number 1 and drag it, wherever I go in this spectrum of colors is what the color is going to appear on the light bulb. So I'm going to show you that in just a moment here. Before I do that, I do want to show you just a couple other things really quickly here. This cog wheel right up here, if I tap onto that, this lets me go into some configurations. I can configure my bridge. I can log into the portal. I can find new lights. Remember, up to 50 lights are supported. So if I get a new bulb and I screw it in, I'm going to go here, find that new light. And then this is where you would rename them. So by default, they've got some individual names. If you tap into them, you can rename them to whatever you want. So that's the first thing. The next thing I want to show you is how you can set this up so that you can do interesting things like wake up to a almost like a sunset and go to sleep to where the lights dim. So there's a plus up here. If we tap on that, it's going to give you the opportunity to create a scene from your camera photo library. Camera meaning you take a picture and then pull colors from that. Library, existing photos, pull colors from that. A light recipe, which is basically these existing ones, and you'll see all of your light bulbs so you can assign, okay, what do I want this light recipe to be assigned to? Do I want it to be just one light or all of my lights? So as they dim out, like you see there, this one would only be for my game room. And then I would come over here and I would select, okay, do I want it to be a relaxing light, a concentrate, energize, reading, or whatnot? Now, if I want to get really interesting with this and do something different, I can go into Philips here. I can choose something such as, let's say this, and I can say, I'm going to use this so that then I can say, well, you know what? I want to create a light recipe just for my game room. And now I'm going to pick what color that's going to be for that light. And then if you come over here, which looks like a clock, I can then say, I want to switch this scene on at whatever time it may be. And it can be an instant on, it can be a 3-minute fade in or a 9-minute fade in, meaning it'll replicate a slow rising light. It'll start out slowly and it'll get brighter and brighter and brighter. And then I can also set it to switch the scene off. So this acts like a timer for you. And when you've created that, I basically am going to hit back, and then all you do is hit save. It's going to ask you, I'll just leave it as default for new scene. And notice how right here in the corner, you're going to see there is a green, and let me go ahead and move the camera for you guys. There is a green sort of clock. That indicates it's a timer. A timer has been set on this. If I want to turn it off, I double tap on it, the timer goes gray. So that's how you can work that. So a lot of feature functionality built into this. Let me show you the lights now, and I'll give you my final conclusion. Okay, so I don't know how well this is going to transfer over. It's still daylight outside. I've tried to close up windows and other lights as best as I can. I will tell you, these light bulbs in the Philips Hue, they evenly distribute. So there doesn't seem to be any hot spots or dead spots in this light bulb. And the room that I'm in right now is, I don't know, I'm terrible with assumptions here, but I'd say probably 12 by 12, 14 by 14 maybe. It's decently sized. It's not huge, but it's not small. And the one light bulb actually distributes very well in this room, and it's the equivalent of a 60 watts. So remember the app I just showed you. So I'm going to go through and I'm just going to select a couple of color schemes first. We've got a reading light, and sometimes you can take about I don't know, maybe about a 2 to 3 second delay when you press it. And if you just simply turn off your light switch on the wall and then turn it back on, it's going to default to the color that you saw when I first showed you the light in this room. So this is kind of reading. If we move into energize, it kind of changes the color as well. You can move into some more creative ones like blue rain. Of course, you can dim it. or you can set the brightness even more. And these are just some of the pre-configured color schemes. There's a sunset one here. And the interesting thing is if you've got two bulbs in the same room, for example, sunset, one of the bulbs is going to be kind of orangey like you see there, and the other is going to be more of a white. So it actually makes it even a little bit more intense. I'm going to go into this color swatch, and remember when I showed you on the app, you can kind of drag around and just change colors at random. I'm going to turn the brightness all the way up, and you can see kind of a red as we move into more of a pink or a fuchsia. We start moving into blues. You can see that. A lighter blue. Let's move into maybe sort of a green. You don't get a true dark green, but there's a hint of green there. There's more of a yellow, and then we move into kind of orangey colors, I should say. And you can see what that's going to look like. And then, of course, you can move into the full spectrum of whites and daylights and try to match daylight colors and fluorescent colors and things like that. So, I have found this to be very helpful with YouTube videos. I have my studio lights hooked up in here, and then also this one overhead, and it definitely has added more lighting to my room that has helped with my videos. And I would imagine that even if I put these into my umbrella lights, it'd probably be that much better. But just for the sake of it, I've got one in here and then two in my bedroom. A lot of feature functionality. It's not the cheapest thing in the world at $199 for basically 3 LED light bulbs as well as a hub, but it is 15 years a lifespan on those bulbs, so they're going to last you a while. You get a lot of functionality in them, timer functionality. You can basically access these things when you're away from home with the app as well. So, for me, it's worth the price of admission, and there's very few bugs that I've encountered. Few delays here and there. You saw the reconnect message that I got in the video. Not a big deal. It connected back real simple. Never had an issue with that. So I would say if you're looking for new lighting for your home and don't want to really do much installation, this is a great alternative. If you're looking to improve your YouTube video lighting, this is a great alternative as well. So just a couple of different options for you. I give it my thumbs up. I'm going to give this system a 4.5 out of 5. I'd love to see the price come down. Individual bulbs are going to run you about $60 a pop, but it is a semi-new technology. I say semi because I know that they've been out there for a while. And this is probably close to the cheapest that we've seen this type of technology out there before. So that kind of, in their benefit, at least they're trying to bring the price down. But still, I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. I'm very impressed, and I will continue to use this system and probably at some point expand it in my home. It's going to do it for this time. If you guys have questions, comments, or feedback, as always, please feel free to let me know. Otherwise, the Philips Hue personal wireless lighting system gets a 4.5 out of 5 from me. I will talk to you next time. Take care, everybody, and have fun.